Sometimes you want a wet shave with a safety razor, but you don't have a lot of spending money. You don't have a lot of walking around cash. You don't want to break the bank. You just want to shave, man. You don't want to shave with those plastic ones anymore. No more cartridges. Those cost too much. So it doesn't have to be fancy. So let's see what you can shave with that's pretty dang cheap, and you can find them just about everywhere. Well, first of all, you got to start off with the razor, right? You guys have seen this. I've reviewed it before. It's in every grocery store, every convenience store, just about. These things grow on trees, quite literally. I have a Vanderhagen bush out front. So, yeah. So anyway, you can get these. I bought this one for 12 bucks. Normally, they're like $20. You can get them for even cheaper. Some people have said they got it for $8. You get it on clearance somewhere. These are everywhere. Are they the best razor in the world? No, of course not. But then you put it up against something like this $100 Rockwell razor, which is built like a tank. I was going to say a bad word, but this is a family channel. And it shaves beautifully, perfectly. I love it. I would never have to buy another razor again. But sometimes you just don't have $100 to throw around. Get one of these suckers. They're pretty good. This one's pretty solid. I've had some other ones that were really chintzy, like Dollar Tree. These are good and solid. Vanderhagen. All right. So what blade do you put in there? Well, normally I use the feather blades. They're kind of expensive. Like for $100, it's like $40 on Amazon right now. It used to be cheaper. Not anymore. But now you can do Dorco blades. These are good blades. And I just checked on Amazon, $6.70 for 100 blades. That's going to last you a long time. So we're going to use a Dorco blade wrapped in this little wrapper. It's like a little envelope. It's like somebody sending you a little love letter to your face every day. No, it's not. That's dumb. All right, here's what it looks like inside. It's got two wrappers. Ooh, doubly wrapped for your protection. Here's what it looks like. It says Dorco stainless blade. Just stick that sucker in there. This one's non-adjustable, so you don't even have to worry about that. That's even one less thing to worry about in the morning when you're shaving. So we got that installed. And then, you could go real cheap and use a canned shaving cream like Barbasol. I use this all the time, especially if I'm in a rush. And this is the fancy one from 2019. It's the throwback. They normally look like this. You know what I'm talking about. But maybe you want to actually shave with a brush. So what do you got to do? You got to get a brush. Brushes, you can get them. Go online. This is executive shaving brush. I think this is like 20 bucks, but you can get them for anywhere from $8 and up. Just look online. This is synthetic. So the knot inside of it won't shed as much. It's a lot more user-friendly, at least it is for me. So, $8 to $12 to $15, maybe $20 if you're getting really fancy. Get yourself a synthetic brush. Pretty good. Now, I don't use shaving bowls to lather in. I always face lather, and there's no cheaper way to face lather than getting some tobacco shaving stick or some other like Palmolive shaving stick. If you've never heard of a shaving stick, it's just soap in a stick form. And what you do is, now there's the soap, you see. This tobacco, I just looked online, and I think it was like $8. Yeah, so we got the razor for 12, the soap for 8, the blades for 7, and then the aftershave, Cremo, which is my favorite, for about $3. So, let me show you how the shave stick works, and then we'll go through the shave with the Vanderhagen and the Dorco and the tobacco. I'm going to put some water up on my face. Hot water, first of all. I took a shower, I did my hair, time to shave. So here's how you use a shave stick if you never have. For those of you that know how, just sit back and relax. You just smear it all over your beard, like this. I had never heard of these before I started doing this kind of thing and having this channel. I didn't know it existed. But now I do, and so do you. You see? You can tell where you need to shave. It's a shave indicator stick, really. Tobacco is just one of the versions, and people love that brand. So that's why I'm using that one. Palmolive is great. Arco is one that people love that I don't care for, but you might. All right, here's how you lather. Get your brush wet, not too wet. Kind of dunk it in the water and then kind of do that a couple of times. It's kind of by feel. There's no exact ratio. But you'll know if you use too much water, then your lather's getting all slippery and wet. See, I may have used too much water, but you know what we're going to do? We're just going to press on. We're going to press on. This smells so good. Tobacco smells like so old school shaving. It's like sort of a masculine scent, but also sort of like gender neutral, to use a modern term, I guess. I don't know too many modern terms, but it smells great. And it doesn't linger, which is nice. You don't want one of those kind of cheap scents. You know what I'm talking about? You middle schoolers know what I'm talking about. I'm looking at you. I'm talking about like the Axe body spray stuff. You don't want that. You just want a subtle, pleasant scent that then fades when you're done. All right, we got the Vanderhagen up. I've used this before. I don't remember exactly what it's like. It might be a very mild razor. Like I said, is this the best razor in the world? Heck no. But sometimes, you know, you just don't want to spend a lot of money, but you want to try it out. Maybe you're curious about shaving with a safety razor. You've seen them. You've heard about them. Now, it used to be that everybody's dad and grandpa used to shave like this, but those dads and grandpas are aging out of the population now, and I'm on the tail end of that. So we've got to teach the younger generations who didn't experience it in real life. They didn't see these razors laying on the sink in their mom and dad's bathroom or their grandpa's house. We got to teach them. They don't have firsthand experience. So that's kind of why every now and then, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I just normally talk about whatever I'm using or talk about nothing. And every now and then I put in one of these videos where it's kind of like geared towards newer shavers or people that are just curious, or, you know, young people, young men and women, you know. Women can shave just as well and just as easily with a safety razor. You can shave your armpits, your legs, whatever you feel you need to shave, you can do the same thing anywhere on your body. Just be careful. Same thing with your face. Don't want to slice up that punum. I think that's Yiddish for face. Am I wrong? Am I right? I don't know. Let me know. Let me know in the comments below, would you? That's a cheap ploy for me to get comments. You know that, right? When you hear other YouTubers say, oh, leave a comment below and, hey, what's your favorite thing? You know, it's just a cheap ploy. It's kind of like when you're on stage and you ask the crowd, hey, you guys are great. Give yourselves a hand. Then you kind of pretend like that applause is for you. Can you tell I've done that before? Ooh, I got a little nick. Got a nick. Now, we will address nicks at the end of this. Two ways to, well, not two ways. There's lots of ways to stop nicks. The first one that comes to mind is a styptic pencil, which I don't have. It's like this salt, this mineral salt that ceases the bleeding at contact, pretty much. All right. Here's the other thing. Why am I going to shave again? Because right now, I'm done. I'm smooth. I still have some, you know, a little bit. If you go against the grain, you can feel it. I don't like feeling that. I like it to be super smooth. So if you don't want to go any further, you're done. You can dry off, put some of the aftershave on of your choice, and you're good to go. However, I like to do 3. I'm going to do 2 today just because. Yeah, so let's do 2. Let's lather up again. I put some more water on my face, as you saw, kind of just to increase the cushion and the slickness. That's what you want. And this soap is very slick. And the scent is pleasant, and it's easy to lather. So even for a beginner, and especially if you use a synthetic brush like I'm recommending. Now, you may try one out and say, hey, I want to try like a real badger brush. Go for it. Those things start to get real expensive the higher the quality of the badger fur. And they kind of stink at first, but you break them in and they're great. There's no break-in time with a synthetic. All right, second pass, I'm going to go kind of across the grain and against the grain. Don't do that if your skin can't handle it, if you have lots of ingrown hairs. Just stick with going with the grain and do it twice if you want to. If you want to try it out. See how I'm puffing out my cheeks a little bit, and it's kind of helping me grab some more of those whiskers and slice them. Get rid of them. This is not a bad razor at all. I've used razors of all kinds, types, price points. And, you know, there's probably a reason why this razor is found everywhere. And I'd like to think that reason is because it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's not great. But sometimes you want to have that Big Mac. Sometimes you want to go to Taco Bell. You don't want to go to the high-end Mexican restaurant. You know what you're getting. You know what you're getting at Taco Bell. Sometimes only that thing will scratch the itch. So I don't always like to shave with my fancy $100 marine grade CNC machine, stainless, you know, which, you know, of course, are my favorite razors. The Rockwell especially. And you don't have to spend $150 on some vintage Gillette Fat Boy or whatever the prices are these days. And that's kind of what I like to do with this channel sometimes, is just be the normal guy. You know, I'm stopping the bleeding here. If you if you think, what the heck is he doing? I'm putting my finger on that little nick. Because as I shave the rest of my face, then that will hopefully stop the bleeding. Another way to stop the bleeding. Styptic pencils, finger pressure, direct pressure on the nick. You know, sticking like the old thing you used to see in the cartoons. They get a little, you know, a bit of toilet paper stuck there with a red dot of blood in the middle. And also, I think what I'll do, because it's not too bad, but they do have something called an alum stick. Now, this is a cheapo shave video, so I don't think you need to buy an alum stick if you're just kind of trying it out. But it's a little bit like that styptic pencil where it's got these mineral salts in it that tighten up your skin and can help stop little tiny nicks and cuts, you know, as you're shaving. Now, so here I'm going against the grain on my neck. My neck is always the part that I need to shave the most to get it clean like I like. You don't have to be weird and you know, anal retentive like I am when it comes to really shaving like crazy and getting super smooth. I just kind of like that feeling. I just like it. You catch me walking around just going, well, maybe not. All right, I'm going to wash off. And instead of doing 3 passes, I'm just going to check and see if there's the spots that I always miss right here. Always like a little trail of whiskers I need to get, so I'm just going to do that. And I don't need to put any more shaving cream on. Just lightly let the water that's all on my face, because I just rinsed, let the water take care of that. All right, rinse off again with cold water. Now, if you rinse with cold water, that kind of helps also tighten your face up and your skin and your pores, and might even stop those little bitty cuts. That's what I'm hoping, because I got a tiny one there and a tiny one there. It's no big deal. All part of the process. And people ask, why do they call it a safety razor? It looks so scary and there's a razor blade you got to touch. The reason why is because people used straight razors before this, and boy, you can really hurt yourself with those. So I have hurt myself with well, I'm also trying to stop the bleeding with this technique, which is the self-flagellation technique. You've been a bad boy. You must pay. I'm just kidding. All right, I'm going to dry off and then put on the $3, it's a little less than $3, Cremo, which is my favorite aftershave. This is the one cheapo shaving item that I use almost on a daily basis, just because I love the scent. It's an aftershave lotion, so it doesn't sting. A lot of the alcohol-based ones, if you've never used one, you'll get that, you know, that Home Alone, Kevin, ah! You don't have to feel that when you use a lotion of some kind. And it doesn't even have to be necessarily just an aftershave lotion. It could be a very light skin lotion, but you don't want anything too heavy, because then you might clog up your pores. If I can get it out of there. This thing is full, but there we go. Just a little bit. Oh, this is the refreshing mint. And I always describe it as, it smells like, well, it smells like mint, first of all. It's a very pleasant mint scent, like peppermint. And there's a little bit of a tingle from that. Not a burn, but like a tingle. But it also smells like the inside of an old piano or an old box in an antique store. There's some scent that they put in this stuff that reminds me of those kind of things. I know, it's a weird concept, and I'm trying desperately to stop those 2 little nicks so I don't have to like stick toilet paper on it, but sometimes I just let them dry. The blood just dries, and then later I wash it off. So that's it. You can get away all this stuff for about $30. But here's the thing. This is not disposable unless you drop it and it breaks or something like that. You keep this thing around for a few years if you want. And there's 100 of these for $6 on Amazon right now. So these things, these 2 things, and this, and everything else will last for many, many shaves. I get usually 4 to 5 shaves out of one blade. So think about the economy of that. $7 for 100 of these? It just makes sense. And you get a great shave, even with a cheap, readily available Van der Hagen razor like this. So try it out. And if you have any questions, leave comments down below. Either I will answer it, or one of my many fine viewers out there who probably have a lot more knowledge than I do. But that's it. That's how you can get away with shaving. That's not too fancy. It's not, you don't have to put on a top hat and a monocle to shave anymore. Finally, the top hat and monocle days are over, ending the tyranny. All right, everybody. Have a great week. Have a good day. Happy shaving, and I'll see you soon.